off at 7 on their way to a win over OVC rival Murray State. Tune in Saturday, February 26th at 2 and 7 to see both the women and men take on the Murray State Racers. Here on WEIU 51, your home for Panther basketball.
You're watching WEIU 51, serving Charleston, Champaign, and Neoga.
This town has so much support, and it's awesome. We appreciate everything that they've done for us throughout the whole year, not just today, but throughout the whole year. They've been so supportive, and it's awesome.
A journey that began more than a year ago has come to an end. Tears of joy fell on cheeks with smiles stretched ear to ear. Thousands of people gathered to welcome home the Paris-based 1544th Transportation Company. Straight ahead, we'll have team coverage of the unit's arrival back into the arms of a community anxiously awaiting.
Funding for Newswatch on WEIU is brought to you in part by Carl Clinic, serving East Central Illinois communities for over 10 years. And by Sign Appeal of Charleston, window graphics, vinyls and decals, truck and auto lettering, and magnetics, aluminum, bronze, and plastic molded letters, as well as illuminated signs and neon, are just some of the options available from Sign Appeal. And by WEIU viewers like you. Thank you.
Bringing news that affects you and your community. This is the region's only local 5:30 newscast, WEIU Newswatch. When events happen in East Central Illinois, we're there. Newswatch at 5:30.
The men and women of the Paris-based 1544th Transportation Company come marching home. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Sutphin.
And I'm Whitney Self. Thank you for joining us for tonight's special edition of Newswatch. Tonight, team coverage of a homecoming that's been in the making for more than a year. We'll take you to the huge celebration in Paris where thousands of family, friends, and loved ones have lined the streets in anxious anticipation. Speaking of families, you'll meet an East Central Illinois mom and dad from Stewartson looking forward to reuniting with their two sons. Plus, a lesson in heroism goes from the classroom to the streets of Paris as hundreds of students wave flags and cheer on the troops' arrival. And the welcome home salutes continue as another East Central Illinois community rolls out the red carpet for its war heroes. On a cold and windy winter's day, much like the one they left, the Paris-based 1544th Transportation Company returns home.
Newswatch's Blake Wood was in Paris today and begins our team coverage. Blake, what do the soldiers have to say about their welcome home?
Whitney and Kyle, today is the day members of the 1544th have been dreaming about for over a year. Today, dream became reality as thousands showed up to say welcome home. Tears, hugs, and a sigh of relief as the Paris-based 1544th Transportation Company comes home.
It's great. It's overwhelming. I mean, you can see the support we get from our community, and it's been that way the whole time we've been gone.
The soldiers stepped off the buses, ending their long journey just before 2 this afternoon, as thousands lined the streets leading to the downtown square.
USA! USA!
How's it feel to be home?
Awesome. I can't even explain to you how awesome it feels.
The 1544th had so much support here in Paris that you can barely walk through the crowds of people. A homecoming, they say, is only fitting.
The support was amazing. It was unbelievable. I cannot believe how many people we have down here.
For many soldiers, today was the first time they've seen their families in over a year.
Got all my family here, my two boys I haven't seen since June. It's unbelievable, unbelievable experience.
And now it's time for many to get back to normal life.
Now I'm going to go home and I'm going to recoup for the next 90 days, come back to drill in June, and then we'll just go from there.
But for others, the homecoming is bittersweet. 5 fellow soldiers, 5 friends will never be returning home.
That's the worst part about today, but I do know that they are in a better place, and they did watch over us. They watched over us from the time that they were gone. That's what made us through.
Illinois Guard officials say the 5 casualties from the 1544th are the second most of any U.S. Guard unit during the nearly 2-year war in Iraq. The unit has also been awarded 32 Purple Hearts. In the meantime, the celebration is not over for the 1544th. The National Guard will now start planning the official homecoming celebrations for the unit in about 90 days. Ladies, now back to you.
Thanks, Blake. And Jenny, rain, snow, sleet, nothing could have stopped the celebration today in Paris.
The excitement and pride just probably made it feel like the sun was shining all day.
And you know what? This morning it was beautiful. I went out and I looked at the sunrise, and the sun was just gleaming across the horizon, and you just knew it was going to be a really good day. It was beautiful out, and we had a very nice day, just a little bit of cloud coverage, but as I go into this evening, clouds will be sticking around. Temperatures around 40 degrees, winds out of the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As for your forecast for tomorrow, a little bit of sunshine is going to peek back into our forecast, 28 at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 3:30 in the afternoon, 39 degrees with a high. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Jenny. And students from around the area, as well as thousands of others, may not have attended school today, but attended an event greater than any lesson plan.
A textbook definition could not describe the pride and emotion the community expressed for their soldiers. A hero's welcome. For the Jeske family, this past year and 3 months has been a long one.
You can't really explain the feeling, the love that you have for a loved one like that. He's my oldest brother. I've looked up to him my whole life, and I'm just glad he's home.
An anxious wait to see his face once again.
It's been a lot quieter in the house, that's for sure.
Nobody plays with me.
Cody's excited for him to come home and play with him. Here he is.
Finally, the family complete.
Feels so good. I just want to go home and lay in my bed and enjoy my family.
Families, friends, school children, eagerly waiting for the soldiers who've marched half a world away, who are now marching back into their lives, like Jessica Scott, who, like her classmates, had been let out of school for the 1544th's arrival. But her case is extra special. Big brother Ryan has been gone until today.
You can sleep easier at night now knowing that he's safe.
And former Paris high school student Adam Shuey has something in common with Jessica. He too is seeing his big brother for the first time in over a year. But not just his big brother, his hero.
He may not think that, but he is. I always have.
Teacher Dan Lynch says though these children may not be in school, they're learning something greater than anything found in a textbook.
Much like the day they left when we lined the streets over a year ago when the transportation unit left, this is just another memory that they can log into their brains and think, this is something that'll never happen again, hopefully in their lifetimes. But at the same time, maybe this will encourage some of them to fulfill that service, to go out and help other people that are not capable of helping themselves.
Today was filled with new lessons, new experiences, new faces. This is the first time Staff Sergeant Nick Rose has seen his baby boy, the first time to hold him in his arms.
This is definitely the best day of my life, that's for sure. This even beats him being born, maybe.
Families reunited, actually holding their loved one once again, thankful for their safe return, truly learning the meaning of life and family. All school children in Edgar County were let out for today's ceremonies. Paris wasn't the only East Central Illinois city to welcome home the soldiers from the 1544th Transportation Company. After the unit got back to the Armory in Paris, some of them made their way south to Marshall.
And as Newswatch's Michael Dixon reports, just because today was cold doesn't mean these soldiers couldn't have a warm reception.
Just welcome home, Joe.
Family and friends of the 15 Marshall soldiers from the 1544th Transportation Company met their loved ones with tear-filled eyes and open arms. After these last 13 months, the residents of Marshall were more than happy to see the unit back.
So your grandson's coming back today, huh? Right.
How does it feel to have him back?
After 13 months, great.
Marshall High School let out early today, and a few businesses, including Martin's IGA, gave their employees a break to help welcome the troops home.
When the troops come by here today, we're going to have all of our help come out along the road and welcome them home.
The troops arrived back at the Walmart in Marshall around 3:30 this afternoon and were escorted by firefighters and police to the courthouse square. Part of this escort also included a few flatbed floats, one of which was from the Sons of the American Legion.
It makes me feel real good that they're able to come home. They have served our country, and there's not enough you can do for those people serving our country.
The troops were happy to be home and wanted nothing more than to rest and spend time with their family and friends.
Well, my plans are tonight. I'm probably going to eat some vegetable soup and probably hit the rack early and get up and probably on Wednesday or Thursday I'm going to drive up to Chicago and see my girlfriend.
Tonight I'm going to spend some time with my friends and family, my girlfriend, and really enjoy some of the things that I've missed the most within the last year.
From Marshall, this is Michael Dixon reporting for WEIU Newswatch, and welcome home 1544.
Many of the 1544th members plan to get back to their normal lives, including going back to school and returning to their jobs.
Thousands stand up to salute the soldiers that defend our freedom. One community will never forget those who fought fearlessly for our rights. Since the day they left, Newswatch has stayed connected to family, friends, and soldiers. Later, Newswatch recognizes the 160 members of the Illinois National Guard's 1544th Transportation Company. Join us as we pay tribute and say thank you at the end of our newscast. And Jenny, today was quiet weather-wise, but it wasn't a quiet day.
Oh no, with those high hopes and those cheers across, I mean, we just had some nice temperatures. It was a decent day across East Central Illinois, and it was just nice to get out and really enjoy it. As you can see, for our highs around the region, 36 in Champaign-Urbana, 39 in Robinson for your high, 41 in Shelbyville, 36 degrees for the high in Paris today, and in Mattoon and Charleston we saw a high of 40 degrees after a morning low of 34 degrees. We'll complete look at your forecast is coming up next. This is Newswatch on WEIU. A sneak peek of sunshine is in the forecast for tomorrow, but it won't be sticking around too long because after that, clouds are going to roll their way back into our forecast. And with those clouds also comes some light snow, not too much around our area, but it will be sticking around throughout the day tomorrow. But then after that, we should be getting a break from that moisture until the earlier parts of next week. But a nice weekend is in store for us. Temperatures will be warming up into your Sunday forecast, and a little bit more sunshine will be returning to East Central Illinois. For our local radar this evening, nice, quiet, and nice evening. This afternoon, we saw a little bit of freezing rain around Piatt, Champaign, and the northern part of Douglas County, but we didn't see very much accumulation of anything with that freezing rain. As we went into this evening, though, things started to clear up to make a very nice evening and a wonderful day for the troops to come home. It was just gorgeous outside. Despite a little bit of cloud coverage, we saw mostly cloudy skies into this morning, but as you can see out to our west, already starting to clear up, but we're going to be having some mostly clear conditions as we go throughout the rest of tonight. But for right now this evening, we're still seeing some partly cloudy conditions to mostly cloudy conditions out to the eastern part of Illinois this evening. As for current conditions tonight, coming to you from Paris, 34 degrees, winds out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour, making it feel more like 30 this evening. Still seeing those mostly cloudy conditions, but like I said, it's going to start to clear up around your area to a bright and sunny day tomorrow. As for other regional temperatures, 33 in Chicago, Indianapolis at 35 degrees, 43 in St. Louis this evening. We're sitting right around that 40-degree mark, actually the upper 30s for this evening. It hasn't been too bad of a day, and I hope you guys got outside and enjoyed it, especially if you went out to see the troops. Other temperatures closer to home, 35 for Champaign-Urbana, Sullivan at 37 degrees, 39 currently in Robinson, 39 in Toledo and Tuscola. You're currently sitting at 35 degrees this evening. Now for today's surface map, had the cold front sitting up to our north. This brought us, that's why we had a little bit of the freezing rain just right along the frontal boundary earlier on today. But the main thing is this high pressure system sitting up to our northwest. This is going to pull its way into our area for tomorrow. Nice, constant conditions for tomorrow. More sunny skies, but still steady temperatures for our area. But the main thing into tomorrow is to see this low pressure system sitting out to our west. This is slowly going to pull its way into our area as we get into Thursday's forecast, bringing a little bit more cloudiness as well as the possibility of some snow back into the forecast. So be ready for that one on Thursday. The clouds are coming back once again. Projected highs throughout the area tomorrow, 38 in Paris. Newton, you'll see a high of 40 degrees, 39 in Mattoon and Charleston. The Monticello, nice high of 36. And Effingham, a beautiful day with 40 degrees and those bright sunny skies. As we go throughout the rest of this evening, 40 degrees, mostly cloudy conditions. Winds out of the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now, as we get into this evening, overnight low of 23 degrees. Those cloudy skies will still be sticking around, but clearing up to partly cloudy conditions. Winds out of the north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. As for tomorrow, 39 degrees, partly sunny skies. Get out and enjoy it. It's going to be a beautiful day. As we get later into the week, things are going to start to cloud back up. As we go into your 7-day forecast, like I said, snow on Thursday with mostly cloudy conditions, but a high of 40 degrees in our area. On Friday, partly cloudy conditions, 42 degrees to the high on that day, so a nice day to get outside once again and a wonderful start to our weekend. 43 degrees on Saturday with partly cloudy conditions, 46 on Sunday. The clouds are going to start to roll the way back in, but warmer temperatures coming back into our forecast on Sunday especially. Good day to maybe get out and enjoy that car the last day it can be clean, because on Sunday, rain and a snow mixture is back into the forecast with mostly cloudy conditions. 40 degrees to the high on that day, but then on Wednesday, clearing back up to just partly to mostly cloudy conditions and temperatures right around what we've been seeing all week long. So a little bit of mix all throughout the week. But as we get into tomorrow, it's going to be a gorgeous day, back to those partly sunny conditions. And I know all the troops are going to love to get some sunshine
Can't
once
wait
again.
to see. So glad that the rain held off today.
Yes, it was very nice to have that held back.
It was. Thanks, Jenny.
Thanks, Jenny. And a sigh of continuing our team coverage tonight. In the 1544th, a sigh of relief could be heard from the town of Paris as troops proudly made their way through the crowded streets.
As Newswatch's Andrea Stankiewicz reports, one family has been dreaming of a day like today when their two heroes would come marching home.
Anxiously but patiently waiting, the Weatherall family waited not just for one, but for two of their heroes to come home.
It's overwhelming. It's great to have them back home, and it still almost seems like it's hard to believe.
24-year-old Dave and 22-year-old Zach Weatherall, two brothers from Stewartson, both placed in the 1544th, have stepped into familiar territory where their family couldn't wait to jump into their arms.
I can't wait to see him. I wish he'd hurry up and get here. So incredibly excited. I can't even describe it. It's just so many feelings right now. So it's just nice to know they won't have to ever go back.
And when getting off the bus, emotions immediately took over.
Hugged my brother, gave him a big hug, and all my friends and family that served over there with me. Gave them all big hugs and told them that we're home.
After a year away from their family, David and Zach are now back and ready to begin a new chapter in their life. When asked the first thing they want to do when they get home, they both replied with a big smile.
I'm going to go and have a great steak dinner and spend time with friends and family.
Thoughts of coming home kept the soldiers' hopes high, and now the moment is almost surreal.
We knew that the support was there when we were over there, but to be able to actually see it and feel that love and feel all the prayers and everything, it's amazing.
In Paris, I'm Andrea Stankiewicz reporting for WEIU Newswatch.
After Dave and Zach Weatherall arrived in Paris earlier today, their family went to a Mattoon restaurant to celebrate. The brothers are now home for good and plan to return to college.
With the general election only a few months away, residents around the area hit the polls to choose who should be on the ballot. Results from today's election are at your fingertips.
Plus, thousands of Illinois residents could be scammed into trusting the wrong people. A fast-growing crime has worked its way into many lives and wallets across the country.
You're watching Newswatch right here on WEIU.
I'm Peter Burley. Fresh water is a special and limited resource. Of all the water on the earth, less than 1% is fresh and available to us. The rest is salty or frozen in the polar ice caps.
Fortunately, nature continuously recycles water through evaporation and rainfall. I often like to think of all the adventures a drop of water may have had before I drink it. Could it have been a snowflake in the Himalayas, a raindrop in the Amazon, or did it quench the thirst of a Native American on the Great Plains?
To give nature a chance to maintain a sustainable supply of fresh water, we need to treat it as the special substance that it is.
We Americans love our water. We use it and reuse it to complement our capital. We use it in a host of other ways as well. According to the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, each of us uses about 150 gallons a day. That's 40 times as much as some who live in other countries. Half of what we use in our homes flushes toilets or goes through the washing machine. But 14% never gets used at all. It leaks.
We can help our planet sustain life that doesn't drink from a pipe by fixing those leaky faucets and using water-efficient appliances. When we grow a garden or maintain a lawn, we can use drought-resistant plants and grass. We'll save a lot of water that way, as well as the dollars we'd spend on water and sewer. But more importantly, we can help save our good green earth.
Voting for the primary elections are winding down. If you're looking for results in Coles or Champaign counties, they're only a click away. Results for Coles County will be posted at Fiddler.com, and results in Champaign County will be posted at the Champaign County Clerk website. Top candidates from today's race will advance to the April 5th general election ballot. Polls close tonight at 7. A Watson man remains in the Effingham County Jail after sheriff's deputies say he started a fire in his cell. Effingham County Sheriff's Department officials say 40-year-old Dwayne Jeffrey Rhodes has been charged with 3 counts of aggravated battery and 2 counts of criminal damage to government property. Police say Rhodes set fire to his clothes and mattress with a cigarette lighter after his arrest over the weekend. No injuries were reported, but the jail had to be evacuated. Rhodes' next court date is scheduled for March 14th.
Area farmers are getting ready to strut their stuff as the annual Farm Progress Show heads to town. Farmers and agriculturalists from all over the state and country will head to Decatur in August for the 53rd annual event. The Farm Progress Show will be open to the public August 30th to September 1st from 7:30 to 5. The event will feature new services, technology, and demonstrations of farm equipment. Illinois residents beware. Personal information of more than 5,000 Illinois residents may have been stolen. About 145,000 consumers across the country are at risk for identity theft after a company called Choice Point Incorporated was scammed into allowing criminals to access its database of personal information. Choice Point is a spin-off of credit reporting agency Equifax and has 19 billion public records and databases, including military records, names, addresses, and social security numbers. Notices are being mailed to all possible victims. Choice Point says Illinois has the 7th largest pool of affected residents. PERS and GERS are increasing at the Shelby County Humane Society, leaving the service in need of more help. With a greater number of stray cats and dogs, the society is asking for volunteers. Open positions include office work, animal care, and keeping up the society's newsletter. President Robin Apple says volunteers may choose to work as much as they want. If you're interested in helping, contact the Shelby County Humane Society or visit their website.
Aid for cancer research may be as easy as 1, 2, 3 for students at a Mattoon Elementary School. This year, students at Riddle Elementary School will participate in a math-a-thon to raise money for the St. Jude's Cancer Research Center. Students will receive math workbooks and are encouraged to complete math problems as homework. The participants will receive donations from their sponsors for every problem they have correct. March 4th will be the final collection day. For more information on how you can help, contact Riddle Elementary School. Straight ahead, fierce storms slide their way across the West Coast, causing evacuations and destroying homes.
Plus, 2 former presidents and rivals have joined forces to help those whose lives were washed away. The 41st and 42nd leaders of our country quickly put their differences aside when duty called.
Thanks for joining us. This is News Watch on WEIU.
When I was 6 years old, I saw a program on Nova called Superbridge. I was in the 1st grade and wasn't doing too good in school. When I was watching it, I was just like so excited. Like I kept asking my dad, "Dad, why are they using that? What's that?" It was just like so interesting. Me and my mom discovered from Nova that the construction company had a website. I asked them how to get a job there and what I need to do in school. I kept thinking that they might respond, but I figured, like, why should they bother with me, you know, I'm just a kid. That day when I came home from school, my mom told me that I got an email. I was like, well, wow, I didn't think that they would write back. They told me that if I wanted to come build bridges for them, I need to work in reading and math. I said, well, if I'm going to be a construction man, I got to read. Any book that I get my hand on, I just tried to read it. I read more books than I've ever read before. That year, I went from an F in reading to an A, and I just felt like maybe the construction guys will let me in now. And for summer vacation, we went to the bridge in St. Louis. When we were driving to Missouri from Georgia, I kept asking my dad, are we there yet? Are we there yet? I was just like so excited to get there. When we got to the bridge for real and saw it, it was just so huge. It just looked really neat up close. And with the mayor of Alton and the president of the construction company, they kind of closed off the section for us to walk on. I met the engineers and we had lunch there, big foot-long hot dogs. And for dessert, a bridge made out of cake. Then they brought me a job application. These were my heroes, basically, and it was just really exciting to meet them finally. Thank you, Mom, for telling me about Nova, because I know what I want to do with my life now.
Topping tonight's National Watch, a deadly series of storms across California is starting to lose its punch after spawning everything from tornadoes to avalanches and killing at least 6 people. The storms flooded freeways with steady rain and sent rivers of mud crashing through homes. Forecasters say even though the system is weakening, Southern California could still get at least another inch of rain. Dozens of homes have been evacuated or tagged as unsafe because they're threatened by sliding hillsides. Northern California also was hit by severe thunderstorms, hail, and at least 2 tornadoes.
A week ago, Michael Jackson was heading to court for his child molestation trial and ended up in the hospital instead. Today, the pop star was feeling better, arriving at the California courthouse, apparently recovered from last week's flu-like illness. The judge told prospective jurors the recent delays in the case weren't a ploy to slow down the trial. Attorneys on both sides spent the day quizzing prospective jurors about any biases that could keep them off the panel. Jackson's defense also added new names to their already star-studded witness list. Possible witnesses now include Eddie Murphy, Macaulay Culkin, and Smokey Robinson. Former Presidents Clinton and Bush wrapped up their 3-day tour of the tsunami-ravaged areas Monday. The 2 ex-presidents, numbers 41 and 42, were named by the current president, 43, to lead a fundraising drive to help tsunami victims.
Since then, they have spent plenty of time together, so much time, Kelly Wallace says it seems the former political rivals are fast becoming pals.
If you didn't know it, you might think they were running mates, not former rivals. Just watch and listen.
He's in better shape than I'm in. I'm having heart surgery. He's jumping out of airplanes.
Yucking it up and heaping praise on the other every chance they get.
I got a little age on President Clinton. I got a little age going.
The warmth between the ex-presidents was evident last month at the White House.
I'm honored to be standing here with 2 former presidents.
But you could also see the bond months earlier in the smiles at the World War II dedication ceremony and in the words at the opening of President Clinton's library.
Simply put, he was a natural, and he made it look too easy. And oh, how I hated him for that.
What happened to the bitterness? And there was bitterness. It was, after all, an election Republican strategists say President Bush never expected to lose to the Arkansas governor.
Well, both are very warm men, and so, you know, it's one thing to be in a political battle as they were, 12 years ago, but, you know, it all goes away.
And something else happens between members of that very exclusive club. Only 4 living members now, the ex-presidents, says Jack Valenti, longtime aide to President Johnson.
Only they understand the problems, the pressures, the disappointments, and sometimes triumphs that presidents deal with.
Could the warmth between 41 and 42 help 43 as he begins his 2nd term, and a woman who may try to become 44? Our Washington observers say possibly, but they say it won't likely end the partisan bickering.
I don't think it has any relationship whatsoever to what's going on in Washington today.
And so maybe there is no bigger message than this, that 2 former political rivals can put aside their differences and do something both Democrats and Republicans can support. Kelly Wallace, CNN, New York.
President Bush travels overseas to patch broken ties. After 2 days, the leader is joined by one of his right-hand men in the war on terror, hoping to forgive and forget.
Plus, hundreds of people die in an earthquake that destroys parts of Iran. Survivors search tirelessly for what's left of their shaken community.
Thanks for joining us. This is Newswatch on WEIU.